From all the pictures I saw online before I visited Badami, the Agastya lake with the red cliffs and canyon like structure around it with this Bhootnatha temple was the most captivating one. And that's where I headed on my first morning of explorations in Badami. I wanted to see it, but I also wanted to absorb its vibe to get a deeper feel of the place. Come along with me in this video as I explore Badami. I walked all around the lake and then at the Bhootnatha temple, where it was a little less populated, I sat with my feet dipped in the water for a while. I find that water bodies change the environment in some way. Sadhguru has said that it makes us more receptive, and that's why all temples and spiritually powerful spaces used to have a bathing kund in the earlier times. I also find it true in my experience when I sit this way by a body of water, sprinkle some of it on my head, dip my feet in it, my hands in it. There is a natural peaceful feeling that settles into me, and some kind of deeper awareness starts resonating. This place is really haunting in a positive sense. The temple is called Bhootnath. The meaning of Bhoot does translate to ghost, but Bhoot also means element. And Shiva is often called the master of elements, meaning Bhootnath. So Bhootnath has two meanings. One is master of ghosts and like, which also Shiva represents, and Shiva is also the master of elements. This beautiful lake with the structures that merge into this red sandstone surrounding it, I can only imagine that at the peak of its time, what a soul stirring space it would be. The temples would be powerfully consecrated, rituals would be happening, enhancing the aura of the place. People would dip in this lake to absorb all that energy. There would not be a surrounding sprawl of developed town that is there now. Rather, this kind of an ambience of red sandstone and earthen structures would spread for a much larger distance. It reminded me of the Native Americans. As Sadhguru has said, they are people that are very much connected to the land. I feel here in Badami, the people would be similar simply because this kind of a space, which is also very scenic, but it would be a very powerful presence by itself. So inevitably the people would be so drawn and would feel so connected to this kind of land. I meditated there for a while, shot a few videos and just imbibed the space. En route to the Bhootnath temple, you'll come to the museum and it has this nice long winding path. On the sides of the path, all the heritage pieces and info boards are placed. So I think it would be really enjoyable to take a stroll and learn so many things. And as the path goes upwards, the view from top would also be pretty cool. A full tour in the museum may take about 1.5 hours. So I didn't go to the museum, but I did go to the caves. And the cave carvings were one of the most intricate and impressive ones that I have seen so far. Three of the caves are Hindu and one is Jain. As expected, some aspects of the Jain cave are a lot more simpler and look at this Parshanath deity. I just thought this grand snakehood, it sounds really powerful. I later found out there is a controversial Buddhist slash Hindu cave, which is the fifth cave in this region. It's worth checking out if you are there later. If I go, I might try and see where it is. Apparently, there's a Buddha statue, which is a mix of Buddha and Vishnu. Some other people are saying it's a king and not Buddha or Vishnu at all. So it's a controversial one basically. I met an Indian boy cycle touring across India. Hi Anna.
Hi.
So tell us what are you doing now? You are cycle touring, you are saying.
Yes, I'm a cycling tourist now. This is my All India third ride now. 2018 one ride, 2020 one ride now.
Wow.
Presently this is the third time All India cycling riding.
I enjoyed chatting with him and treated him to a lunch at an interesting Khanavali, which is like a local dhaba kind of restaurant. That was really enjoyable. There was more to explore on this side of town. There are some Shivalaya temples and there is a fort, both of which I skipped because I like doing whatever I explore, I like doing it properly. There are a lot of places where I like to sit and just absorb the vibe and kind of think of how the place would have been in olden times and think of how the people might have been and how they may have interacted with such a space and things like that. So all of that takes time. The fact that I'm traveling solo really helps me because I'm able to spend time the way I want. I don't know if these Shivalaya temples and any other temples within these heritage architecture are alive. The Bhootnatha temple was not alive. A lot of the garbhagrihas in it were empty. They looked very uncared for. However, in terms of live temples, there are two live temples over there. As far as I know, one is Shakambari Amman, which is a Shakti Peeth temple a few kilometers away from this canyon structure. However, at that time, there was an annual festival going on there, and so people said it will take you hours to stand in queue to be able to get close to the temple. And when I came driving in my car, I actually had to take a fairly long detour, and even then I got stuck in that public traffic for like 20 minutes, so I didn't want to risk going over there. So I headed to the other live temple that I knew in the area, which was Mahakuta. I will be doing a separate vlog on the Mahakuta temples, to do watch that one.